Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, and tonight I'm coming to you with a puzzle that you may recognize. This is Wrogn Answers Only by James Sinclair. And at time of me recording this apparently has just gone live on Cracking the Cryptic as their daily feature. And this had been sitting in my queue as a recommendation, not for very long, but it had been recommended to me. And it kind of sparked a thought in me, which is, should I actually do a puzzle if it's been featured by Cracking the Cryptic? But I liked the look of this puzzle and I wanted to give it a try after the recommendations I'd received. Being told that, again, this might be a little bit tricky, but people who recommended it thought that it would be very good for my channel. So, I'm not sure. I've avoided doing puzzles that CTC have done before, and I may, if I remember, throw a link to the CTC solve. I believe it was Simon who solved it. This looks like a very Simon puzzle, because I basically figure most people who are watching my channel, or probably everyone who is watching my channel, has probably already seen this solve on CTC. So what would they get out of it? But I wanted to do it, and I've got very limited recording time, so I thought either maybe it'll be of interest to people to see me solve something that CTC has already solved, or possibly, I don't know. So if you've got an opinion on whether I should do things that CTC have done or whether I should avoid it, let me know. But for now, I wanted to do this puzzle and I'm going to try and do it on camera. Life is hectic for me at the moment and I'm not getting any solve time. So when I solve something, I'm going to try and record it if I can. And this is something that James had given me permission to do. I've got permission to do James Sinclair's puzzle. So I was going to give this a try. So, yeah, that's my preamble. The rules are going to be long for this one, so let's get into that right away. So this is a Wrogn puzzle, which I've never done one of on the channel before. And what that means is every clue in this puzzle is going to have to be broken in some way, or be Wrogn or wrong in some way. So let's get into how this works. So normal Sudoku rules apply. We need to put the digits 1 to 9 in every row, column, and box, or box, row, and column as I highlighted them without repetition. All of the clues in this grid are wrong. A clue is wrong if it is not 100% correct. So the standard rules which must be wrong in this puzzle are as follows. Cells separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratios, and cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. So those must not be true. So because every clue must be wrong. So cells separated by a black dot may not be in a 1 to 2 ratio, and cells separated by a white dot must not be consecutive. Now, the rules are stating that they must have a 1 to 2 ratio and they must be consecutive, because remember, every standard rule must be wrong. Cells separated by an X must sum to 10. Or in this puzzle, they must be not sum to 10. Cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Along Thermos, digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. Or in this puzzle, they must not do that. Digits on an arrow that must have the same sum as the digit in that arrow circle. Okay, so or in this case, not. Digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. Now, the way I read this is it must be broken in some way. So, for example, this, I may not put a 9 in those, and in here I could probably, or let's use this one as an example. I could put a 1 in here as long as I didn't have a 1 and a 9 in here. So this must be broken in some way. If I have 1 and 9 touching this, then I've completed the clue and that is wrong. So they must be wrong in some way. Digits placed on purple Renban lines must be a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order, or in this case, not. And on green whisper lines, adjacent digits must have a difference of at least 5. Note, and this is a thing that was given, in this puzzle it is okay for any given pair of adjacent digits along a green line to differ by 5 or more, as long as at least one pair of adjacent digits along the line does not. So for example, on this whisper line, if these were, let's say, 1 and 8, which is a valid whisper, this one could not then be... if this was a 2, then this would be a valid whisper line, and I've broken the puzzle. So that's what I've got to go on. I'm going to restart my timer. If the rules confuse you, this is not a good puzzle to start out on. If you need to kind of understand these constraints already to do a Wrogn puzzle. I think I've covered all of these rules in the Sudoku problem series, so maybe that would help you. Maybe you've not done crop key. I've done crop key possibly as only an add-on. Anyway, done lots of crop key puzzles and all of that sort of stuff. There's lots of other puzzles in the 500 I've done on the channel covering all of these rule sets. So hopefully, if you've looked at those, then you have the chops it takes. So let's give this a shot. So box 5 looks interesting to me. Well, box 5 is a gimme. Can't put 2 in there, can't put 2 in there, and can't put 2 in there, but I still have to put 2 in the box. So this is a 2. So I cannot put 7 into those cells. So 7 is in one of those. And I can't put 7 in one of those either. Actually, these cells are actually quite limited. They can't be 1, 4, or 7. But 7 is down here somewhere. What? Now, you would think that would give me something more straight away. So I'm having to read this wrong. I know 9 is down here, because 9 can't go in any of those. 4 can go in here if I don't also include a 7. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this works. I can't put a 7 in here. Ones can't go in any of those. So 1 is in one of those 3 and 1 is in one of those 3. And that's because in these rows I have to put 2 ones, but I can't put 1s in any of those. So in this row, 1 has to go over here, and in this row, 1 has to go over here. And that can't be a 1 or a 9, because if that's a 1 or a 9, oh no, those two could be 1 and 9. I can't make both of those. I can't make both of those 1 and 9. So this has to be a 1 or a 9. Which means that can't be a 1. Because if that's a 1, then that's a 9, and that X clue is valid. So that's not a 1, which means there is a 1 in here, which means 9 is down here somewhere. I'm curious about 1 in this box, actually. Because 1 can't go in those. So 1 is up here somewhere. So 1 is in one of those 3. Because I can't put it in those, and I can't put it down here because of these quad 1s. So 1 is in one of those 3. This is tricky. I was warned it would be. I bet Simon is way ahead of me at this point. Stop thinking about Simon and start thinking about what I'm doing. So these can't be 1, 4, or 7. I'm really stumped. So one of these is 1 or 9. This would normally be incredibly powerful, but in this it's not. Could I put 2 down here? I don't know why not. That would put 2 up here. There's got to be something I can do in this box. Nine is not in those. So 9 is in one of those. Because 9 is not in here because of this quad clue, and it's not down here because of the 9 over here. So 9 is in one of those. And it's over here as well. Well, it's in one of those. Now, if this is 1, neither of those is 9. So if this is 1, that's a 9. Is that a problem? Four is down here. Yeah, this 4 automatically knocks 4 out of there. This is 1, this is 9. Whoa. Maybe this is why people don't want me to do videos where I look like an idiot. Like, I know these are different, and I know... Well, these ones mean 1 is down here. That's interesting. So there's no 1 in those. So this is a 1. It's because the pointing ones here take 1 out of here, and I can't put 1 into those. So there's a 1 on this V. So 1 couldn't be up here, but 1 had to be in one of those. So this is a 1, which means neither of those are 9. And this is the 9. And these aren't 4 anymore. So 4 is in one of those two. Which means 4 isn't there or in there. 4 is on this dot. Which means 4 has to be on here, which means 7 isn't on here. So 7 is in here somewhere. Four is on this dot. It can't go with 2 or 8. So what do I have left in this box? I've got to put a 3 somewhere. Well, 3 can go in any of those, really. 4 can go in those two. 5 anywhere. 6 anywhere. 7 in those. 8 anywhere. 9 is over here, though, because 9 is down here and here. So 9 is in one of those 3. So was there more? So 1 is up here somewhere. But it could still be the part. In fact, putting it on the thermo does a good job of breaking the thermo. 4. I don't know anything about 2s. 1 is in here somewhere. Still. 7 is in here. No, that's not anything. One is in one of those 4. And it's not in one of those 2. So 1 is in one of those 2. If that's 4, that's 1. I feel these should be more limited. So they can't be what. So let's look at this for a minute. It can't be 1, 2. It can be 3. It can't be 4. It can be 5. Can be 6. Can't be 7. Could be 8. 3, 5, 6, 8. That's terrible. Okay, so I'm missing something. This run of consecutive dots, but it doesn't tell me anything. It just. It gives. If I could get these down to pairs or something, then it might do something. If that's 4, that's 9. If that's 4, I don't know anything. So, what's the fundamental thing about this that I have missed? There will be something. This can't be 9 either. If this is 9, this is 1, and that's true. So this is not 9. So 9 is down here. Which doesn't do much at all. 9 is not down here, so 9 is in here. So 9 is in one of those. Is this the same? It can't be 1, 2, 3. Can't be 4, 5, 6. Can't be 7, 8. Can't be 9. So this is also 3, 5, 6, 8. This is a long run. I hate how this feels so useless. 7. Seven is in here. I'm looking at this whisper line as well. Like one of these has to be from 3, 4, or 5. Yeah, one of these has to be from 3, 4, or 5. Otherwise, this whisper line is going to be true. So one or both of these is from 3, 4, or 5. Because if both of... Yeah, I can't use 1, 2. So one of these is from 3, 4, or 5. And I can't use 4 in either of them. So one of these is from 3 or 5. And that's what those consecutive dots are doing. If I put 3 or 5 there, I can't put a 4 here without it being consecutive. That is a 3 or a 5 and not a 7. That's a tricky spot. So if this is 3 or 5, that's not the 4. This is the 4. This is not 3 or 5. It's 6 or 8. This 4 means this is not the 1. It's the 9. There's no 9 down here. 9 is down here. 4. So this can't be 3 or 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 only. And this is from 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. But 7 being down here means none of those are 7. 7 is in here. So none of these are 7, and those can't be 7. So 7 is in here somewhere. That is very weird. This is now valid. Seven on a black dot means that this black dot would already be broken. Again, if that's... Hang on. If that's 1, that's 4. That can't be 4 because of that 3, 5. That's the 4. That's not the 1. That's the 1. That's the 7. No, I don't know. That's 9. 9 is in one of those two. But that 7 takes 7 out of there and puts 7 in one of those two. 1 is down here, which I already knew. There's no 3 in here. This is not 2 or 8. 1, 2, 3. Can't be 4, can be 5. Can be 6, can't be 7, can't be 8, could be 9. 3, 5, 6, 9. If this is 3, this is 5, and that's a valid Renban. That is not 3. If that's 5, that's 3, and that's a valid Renban. That's not 5. If that's 5, that's 9. If that's 3, that's either. Two is down here. Oh, I'm terrible at this. 4 is now on this run of dots. 2 is down here somewhere. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is also 3, 5, 6, 8. Four is over here. I could still put 2 on here as long as I keep it apart from the 4. Oh, wait, there's no 9 in here. This is the 6, which means this is the 3. So there's no 3 in either of those. This 6 makes this 8, which means there's no 8 in any of those. There's no 6 here. I am terrible at these. Now there's a 7 in here, so there's no 6 in here. This is 5 and 7. This is 6. There's no 6 here. This is now a run of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 9. Well, there's no 9 in those. Whoops, there's no 9 in those. So this is the 9. This is 2, 4, 5. And I can't put 2 and 4 next to each other. So 5 goes in the middle. And this becomes a 2, 2, 4 pair. Okay. That's some progress. Now, I've got to put a 2 in one of those. I don't see a problem with that. Oh, this is tricky. I'm terrible at this. Sorry, James. At least you've got a good Simon solve to look back on. So so what are these? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 5, 8. Well, there's no 5 in there, so this is the 5. So this is 2, 3, 8. The 2 and the 8 have to be held apart because of the x's. This is the 3 in the middle. This is a 2, 8. So I know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1 and 6. So I know these are 1, 2, 3. Well, there's no 5 here anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 3, 7, and 8. And the 3 and the 7 have to be held apart. So the 8 goes in the middle, not there. Well, this is the 3 and this is the 7. Now 8, this is a valid whisper line. So this has to be from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. It can't be 8, it can't be 5. So 4, 6, 7, or 9. It can't be 7 or 9 because 7 or 9 would be, the consecutive dot would be true. So this is from 4 or 6. Do I have anything here? 1 and 6 is fine. 9 is not in there. 1 is not in there. 3 would go with 7, so that's all fine. 7 can't be consecutive with 8, so that's 2, that's 8. This is all legal. Ooh, that's a problem. but this could still be legal as long as that's not. So I can't do anything here yet. Now, this can't be... Well, this is actually restricted. Because it can't be 1, because I can't put 1 on the quad. It can't be 2, it'd be consecutive. Can't be 3, can't be 4, it'd be consecutive. Can't be 5. So this is 6, 7, or 8. Which is not that helpful. I still know 1 is over here. 4 is not there or there. So 4 is in one of those 4. This is legal. So this can't be. So this has to be a broken whisper to the 1. So it can't be 1, 2. So it's 3, 4, or 5. If it was 6 or higher, it would be fine. So this is 3, 4, or 5. Oh, man. I am terrible at this sort of puzzle. Like, I could put a 2 in here and have 2 2s because I don't have a 7. Can't put a 4 in there, but I haven't. I'm going to get to this point and I'm going to find that there is a clue that is actually legal in this grid. 9, 6. This is 4. This becomes 1. But that's okay. I know 1 is in here and 1 is up here. I know 4 can't be here or here. So 4 is in one of those. Because 4 here would make the V legal. Two is down here, but that's not a problem. 3 is over here. That's not a problem. 5 is over here. So 1 and there has... I can't put 1 and 2 in here, and I can't put both 1 and 2 in here. This has to be a 1 or a 2, which is legal on this whisper line. So this has to be illegal by the whisper. So this has to be close to whatever this is. So if this is 1, this has to be 5 or less. And if it's 2... No, 1... Yeah, 5 or less. And if it's 2, it has to be 6 or less. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it can't be 3 or 5. So this is 1, 2, 4, or 6. And it can't be 1 because of the pointing 1. So this is 2, 4, or 6. But it can't be a valid black dot. So if this is 4, this is 1. If this is 2, this can't be 2 because then this has no valid value. So this is 4 or 6. Oh, and I can't put a 1 there. That's the 2, so this is the 6. 2 means that's not 8, and this is 7. 7 is now up here. 2 is now up here. That's very strange. 4 is in here, so 4 is not in here. 4 is on this black dot. Ah! Yeah, so wait a minute, I've done this completely wrong. 4 is not on here. 4 is on this black dot. Now, 4 can't go there with 2 or 8. So 2 and 8 are down here somewhere. So this has to be a 2 or an 8, because I can't put 2, 8 here, and I can't put both of them down here because one is. So this is a 2 or an 8. I'm sorry I am so terrible at these. There's a 6 up here. Now this is now limited. It can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3, it can't be 4, it can't be 5, it can't be 6, it can't be 7. This is 8 or 9. Can't be 8. This is 9. This is a valid whisper line. This can't still be valid. So it can't be 4 because it would be valid. It has to be close enough. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. It's not 9, it's not 6, it's not 7. This is 5 or 8. Nine, 9. 9 is up here somewhere. Nine is over here in one of those two. This is now broken because I can't put a 2 in it, so I can do anything in here now. Two is in one of those. 2 is in one of those. Maybe this quint. 1 is over here. 3 is in one of those. And there's no X there eliminating 3. Hang on, this is a valid whisper line. So this has to break the valid whisper. If this is 1, this is 6, this is 1, and that's a valid whisper line. That's not the 1, that's the 1. So this is the 6 and this is the 1. And now this has to break the valid whisper. This whisper stuff is weird. So it has to be 5 or less. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't be 1, it can't be 2. So it's 3, 4, or 5. So these are all 3, 4, 5, or 8. There's no 3 here. Six here makes this 4, which means this is not 4, it's 3 or 5. And it puts 4 up here somewhere, but not there. 4 is in one of those 3, because 4 there would be consecutive with 3 or 5. I mean, this is fascinating. I'm just terrible at it. One of these... Oh man, this is so cool. But I have no idea how I'm supposed to... This is so hard. So, in this column, I need to put 1, 3, 5, 6 and 7. Now, I know the 6 isn't down here, but 2 of these are 3 and 7. I can't put the 3 and I can't put the 1 down here because of the 1 would go in the quad. And I can't put 3 and 7 down here. So one of these has to be the 5. So there's no 5 up here. But because one of these has to be the 5, that's the 8. That is very cool, but So there's a 1 and a 6 up here with the other 3, 7. Now they can't both be 5. That's all I know. I do want to look at this column, I think, because it's 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. Now, we know the 4 is not down here. And we know the 1 is not up here. Now, the 4 is on here. So there's no 2 or 8 up here. So this is just 4, 7. So there's no 7 over here. This is 1, 3, 6. So there's no 3 here. This is 5, 7. So there's no 7 in here. This is 1, 2. And there's no 8 here. This is 1, 2. So this is the 8. So this is known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 3, 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 5, 9. This is so cool, but I am terrible at it. That's not a 7. If that was a 7, this would be 6, 7, 8, 9. That is not a 7. So 7 is in one of those two and in one of those two. So 7 is in one of those two and it's not there. That's a 7. Which hasn't done much. 1 is up here somewhere. Nope. I can now put 1 in here. In fact, I have to put 1 in here since I got this one and that one. So that was ages ago. And that possibly would have given me that earlier. It's fun to solve. It may not be fun to watch. If that's 7, that's 4. Hang on. 5, 6, 7. That's a 2. That's a 4. Which means this is 5 and this is 7. Which means this is 4, this is 5, this is 3. Because I couldn't make that Renban work. This is so pretty. So there's no 5 in either of those. These are 3 and 4. So this is now a quad. Quads have served me well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 6, 8. There's no 1 down here. So 1 is definitely on this thermo. Which I could have got from the pointing 1s. I'm expecting a lot of comments like, if you're going to solve like this, please don't solve video puzzles that Simon has done. Yeah, fair. Very fair. Four in this box is in one of those 3. 4 in this box is in one of... Oh, no, 4 is in one of those 2. Oh, it's not a problem, is it? This is an X-wing on 7s. If that's a 7, that becomes a 7, and that doesn't work. Because if I put a 7 there, I can't put a 7 in any of those or there, and that would become a 7, and that would make the arrow valid. That's the 4. That's the 7, which means there's no 4 in either of those. That's the 4. That makes that the 7, and that's not the 7. That's been there for ages, and I just didn't see it. Which means 4 is now in one of these 2. 8 is in one of those three. I'm feeling starved for clues. So is this just Sudoku and I am missing something obvious? So what clues haven't I done? I've done this whisper line because that's not going to be valid if I do that. I've done this whisper line because 2-6 isn't valid. This isn't valid. As long as I don't put 7 in there, this is fine. And I can't. These are all broken. These are all broken. This is broken. These are all broken. All broken. All broken. So it's the thermos. The thermos are all I've got left, really. So, okay, what about this one? If this is 9, thing is, I've got options on these thermos. I have to put 1. If I put 1 here, I could just put an 8 there and the whole thing is broken. Let's look at these quads. So this is 1, 3, 5, 9. Well, the arrow doesn't give me anything. There's no 3, 5 here. This is a 1 or a 9. I can repeat digits on the Renban. One, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. No, that's not it. I was looking at row 3 as I said that. I mean, a 2 or a 6 here would do some damage. Well, a 6 here would do some damage. Is it 6 in this box? Not that I can see. I am right royally stumped. So is it this thermo? I don't see how it can be. Because if I put 9 here, all I have to do is put these in reverse order. So what's this quad? 2, 3, 7, 9. Well, there's no 7 up here, so there's a 7 down here. Oh, that's a 7. So if that's a 7, if that's a 9, that just has to be an 8. I've got all the 7s now. How am I doing for 4s? 4s, all right, I've got an X-Wing on 4s. 1s. I think I'm just missing basic Sudoku at this point. I think I fried my brain. I mean, it's mine to fry, but it's not helping anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has to go in here. 6, 7, 8, 9. Just 5 has to go in here. That's not... I think I've ruined it. Probably made a mistake somewhere. 1, 2, column 2. 1, 2, 6, 8. Well, 2, yeah, I've already got 2 in one of those. I am lost. What's the clue I am missing? I can't see it. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 2 is down here. 2 is up here. I could even put 1, 2 up here as long as I do them in the... I could even do them in the right order if this is like 6, 5. There's got to be a clue. Like, is there a clue missing from the grid? So I've got 1, 3, 5, and 9 in here. 1. So that's close to a quad. 2, 6, 8 go in here. 2 is in here. 6 is in one of them. 8 is in one of those. No. I mean, having never really done much with these before, I'm prepared to give it a bit more time. So what about this row? 1 is over here somewhere. It's in one of those. Okay. 2 is here or here. Okay. 3 I've got. 4 is here or here. 5 I've got. 6 here, here, or either of those. 7 I've got. 8. Is it? No. I feel it's got to be the Thermos, but like if this is 2, if this is 2, this would have, hang on, this can't be 2, can it? Because if this is 2, 7, oh, that just has to be like a 4 and it's fine. If this is 6, 7, this just has to be a 4. There's no information I can determine from this. And if this is 8, it's broken. All this has to be is lower than 7, and there's lots of options for it being lower than 7 if I make this lower than 7. So that's not it. I'm going to give this a couple more minutes and then I'm going to stop the video, which will mean I'm going to have to release something unrecorded, or pre-recorded. I've been asking for easy puzzles, but I'm just getting recommendations for stuff that I'm struggling with. There's no X's or V clues or consecutive dots I can see that are giving me any information. No, all the clues are locked in. Oh, no, they're not. I've got a 1 in here. I can't put a 9 in there. That's not a 9. This is the 9. So this has to be lower, higher. This is an 8. Oh, my Lord. It's been there for ages. So this is from 2, 3, 4, and 6. It's not a 2. So there's a 2 in here. So this is a 1 and a 2. There's no 1 in either of those. So there's a 1 down here. Oh, that was so obvious. And I'd even marked it. There is an 8 up here. There's no 8 in here. 9, 9. There is a 9 in here. Oh, I feel like such an idiot. That's okay. I've got one spare. There is a 9. Okay. So this 9 makes this 1. There's no 1 in here anymore. So the 1, this is a 1-2 pair. So that's not an 8. This is 3, 5, 9. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So this is the only place 9 can go in the column. And this is 3, 4, or 5, and it's not 5. This is 4. This is 3. This is 5, which means this is 8, and this is 6. That takes 8 out of there. Takes 6 out of both of those. That's a 1-2 pair, so that's a 3. There's no 3 in those. That's what I was missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this is now a 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And this 8 is giving me the order, 6 and 8. I was just missing that 9 clue. I'm so sorry, everyone. This is a 4. This is not a 4. This is a 2, 3, 6. 4. Okay. Now there's no 5 in here. This is a 3, 9. 3, 2, 1 would be okay as long as that was... No, 3, 2, 1 does not work. Because if this is a 2, that would have to be a 6. If this is a 1, this becomes a 2, this is a 3, this couldn't be a 2, and it can't be a 5 or a 9 without making a thermo. So this can't be a 1. 1, 2, 3 forces that to be 5 or a 9, and that doesn't work. So this cannot be the 1, this is the 1. Which means this is the 2, this is the 1. There is no 2 in either of those. This is now a 9 because of the 3 already in the row. I'm not being as explanatory as normal because I am completely flustered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8. There is no 8 here. Now, this is now the 5, and this is 2, 3, 6. There's no 5 here. Wait a minute. This has got to be... This 1 makes this 6 and this 1. 6 comes out of here. 2, 3 pair makes this 6. 2, 3 pair. This 2 makes this the 3 and this the 2. The 3 makes this the 9 and this the 3, which makes this the 2. I just missed that for so long. This is the 9. And now I'm down to a single box. It was just that 9. I missed it for way too long. 6, 2, and 3, and that completes the puzzle. I am so sorry, James. It was there. I'd even highlighted that this had to be a pair of 9s, and I put the 7 in and didn't put the 9. If I'd put the 9 in, I would have saved myself like 15 minutes. I would have done this in like 40 minutes, which is probably about what... Yeah, this is a 30 to 40 minute puzzle. I am sure that Simon did this in like 35 minutes. I am so sorry it took me 55 minutes. That is not a 55-minute puzzle. It really isn't. That was just stupid of me. I am so sorry. Well, at least you get to see how Simon is a much better solver than me. I'm sure I'll go watch his video at some point. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, James, for this. And please leave a comment about whether you think whether I should do videos if CTC has already done them. If you think it's a waste of your time and effort, then okay, I'll try and find something else. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry I got a bit down. It's been a really, really rough month, really, and the bad news just keeps rocking in for my family. So yeah, puzzles are good and I'd like to share them with people, but it's going to drag me down a little. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.